Hey, what's up, you guys? Whether it's your first time with us, you've been joining us for all the episodes. I want to say thank you for tuning in to the Players Club, a podcast by the players for the people. And I'm your host, Darien Rencher. Yeah, welcome to this week's episode. Glad for you guys to be back or visiting for the first time. I just got to say, I really appreciate the support and just all the comments in person or through social media that you guys have comment on about the podcast. It means a lot. Like, I'm just kind of starting this thing, getting it going, and I'm trying to bring you guys like some of my really good friends and let you guys see the ins and outs of things that I've gotten to see for a long time. And I feel like they're pretty cool, you know, honestly, pretty cool to learn about, all that good stuff. And so, but seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the support. Thank you for all the love. Continue to share, subscribe, like. It means the world to me. So thank you for that. But seriously, this is going to be one of my favorite episodes. And because we got a great treat later on. We got my good friend, former roommate, former teammate, just one of my good brothers for life, Christian Wilkins, coming on later. And I'm telling you guys, you do not want to miss a second of it. It's going to be amazing because he's amazing. And we got a lot of good stories to tell. So yeah, that's coming up next. Right now, just recapping like my life a little bit. So we just had our banquet for Clemson for the football team this past weekend. And I've been living down in Fort Lauderdale training for Pro Day. And I go back for one day and it is snowing. Like, what? Like, it's 85 degrees here, feeling great. And I go back for one day and I get snowed in. My flights get canceled and I'm stuck in South Carolina. So whatever. But back to the banquet is we had a good time just commemorating the year and just like really kind of taking it all in for how special of a year it was at Clemson football for all my Clemson fans out there. Like, we really, things could have been a lot different, like, seriously. And I'm just thankful for the program. I feel like Clemson's foundation and culture were on display like never before, because it would have been really easy for us to crumble this year. We're 2-2 at one point, and who knows how ugly it could have been, because we saw some other teams across the country that it got really ugly for. They kind of self-imploded and went on a losing streak and fired coaches and all that good stuff. But Clemson, we stuck together. We found a way to pull out 10 wins. Somehow pull out 10 wins, keep the streak going for 10-win seasons, and get a bowl game win against Iowa State. And so we had a lot to be thankful for. And I think just also it kind of allows you to kind of really bring in the moment for the guys that are leaving, but also give you momentum for next year's team. And I think the 2022 team is special. And so you guys saw this week. A lot of guys have decided to come back for this next year's team, which is going to be amazing. I think it's shaping up to be a really, really special year. So yeah, all to say, we had the banquet, and man, it's really crazy. I'm officially Clemson alumni, but I am, and I've had a great experience. My college experience has been amazing, and I can't wait to see what my brothers go ahead and do and carry the torch going forward for Clemson football, because I know it's going to continue to get bigger and better. That's how it's always been, and it'll continue to be as long as Coach Sweeney's there and they bring the right people in. But I have to say this. This is one of the things that really shocked me. So I'm training now with a bunch of different guys from different big programs, and they were so shocked that I said I was going back for a banquet. Yeah, I'm thinking this is what we always do at Clemson. They were so shocked, like guys from Big Ten schools, SEC schools, Pac-12 schools, all of it. They were like, "You're going back for a football banquet?" I was like, "Yeah, don't y'all have banquets?" They're like, "No, we don't have banquets." And I was just like, "What? You don't have a football banquet for the football team?" They're like, "No, bro, we just move on to the next year, like, and just chalk it up. Like, we don't do nothing." And I thought that was so crazy. They looked at me like I was crazy, but I thought they were crazy. I'm like, "Y'all don't have a banquet?" And so, all to say, I've been so thankful for my Clemson experience since leaving and being an alumni for the past 3 weeks. I didn't know what I didn't know. And getting out to seeing some other guys' experiences, I'm like, man, Clemson was really good to me. And just beyond winning games, but just as an entire experience, the Clemson experience was amazing. And so, I'm about to bring on a friend who also had an amazing experience at Clemson. And like I said, I kind of talked about him earlier. But seriously, guys, this is one of my favorite interviews. And I know you guys are going to enjoy it. But coming up next, my good friend, my brother, superstar for the Dolphins and class clown, everything, all the above, Christian Wilkins. All right, we're back, you guys, with episode 2 of 2022. I got my fellow brother, my former roommate, former teammate and both fellow Clemson alumni, my good brother Christian Wilkins. What's good, bro?
Yes, sir. Can I get a round of applause? They're not an audience or nothing like that? Nah. But
Nah,
what's up, bro?
Glad to have you on. He's also my fellow neighbor. I'm down training in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. He's 10 minutes away. We're inseparable. We couldn't get away from each other. So here we are. But yeah, bro, glad you came on the podcast. We've been kind of plotting this one for a couple of weeks. I was like asking the people, and I put it on my Instagram, bro. I was like, who do you want to hear from? And you were amongst the top three. It was you, Coach Sweeney, and Renfro. And so,
okay, that's pretty solid. Yeah, that's
pretty
elite
solid
company right there. That's elite company, and I'm honored and I appreciate you having me on the show. I've been following, this since you started doing it and everything, and it's good to see you kind of doing your thing, and I'm glad you decided to have me on.
Yes, sir. All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. So we're gonna do this kind of sequential order, bro. We're gonna try to. The people want to hear from you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you're one of my good friends, my brother. But I feel like people they're like, oh my gosh, Christian Wilkins. They want to hear about who you are, bro. So all right, we're gonna go back from the jump. So this is before I even met you. You're from Northeast, and go ahead and shout your city out. Where are you from? Just like really quickly, where are you from?
Springfield, Massachusetts, born and raised, the 413. You already know. Shout out Springfield, Mass. Yes, sir.
All right. So from Springfield, Massachusetts, and here's one thing I know about you is like you're from a cold place, and obviously, I mean, football is big up there, but it may not be the biggest thing. So how was it growing up? Like when did you start playing football, and then start here? When did you start playing football? And was that your first sport?
Yeah. So so I started playing football I was 8 years old. I was in the second grade. Something I've always watched. I've always been blessed to, watch the game, be around the game a little bit. My older brothers played too. So they're the ones that kind of introduced me to the game and everything like that. So it was almost like inevitable, you know what I'm saying, that I, eventually got to play and, do all that. And from the first day, I was obviously one of the biggest. Loved it from then. But when I was younger, when I was even younger than 8 years old, like I loved basketball. Like that was my joint. I think it was because I had the little, the old school hoops that you like, you kind of like lift up and you have different levels.
The Nerf hoops. Exactly.
Yes, exactly. So, and I had the Nerf stick them to the wall hoops. That, that might be before some of the people watching time. But those were like elite to me, and I'd always, imagine I'm whoever, Jordan going up, doing layups, dunking on the thing. And I never understood, kind of like, why people love football so much. But as I got older, that became it. I started playing, like I said, when I was in second grade, 8 years old. And the rest is history.
Yeah. All right. So pausing because I know you, so I want people to know this. So one of the reasons we bonded so much, we obviously live together, we're teammates, but we both are self-proclaimed AAU stars, hoopers from back in the day. Right. You know what I'm saying? In the glory days. All right. So tell the people who, and I don't agree with it, who is one of the greatest players of all time? Just tell the people. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. Okay. This is like, and I don't care who listening, who watching, what people got to say. But my favorite player of all time, again, being from Massachusetts, is the captain and the truth, Paul Pierce, of the 15 years with the Boston Celtics. That is my guy. That is my GOAT. There's a lot of, I'm that dude who's going to argue him to death, just arguing his greatness. You know what I'm saying? Just, his career speaks for itself. His resume speaks for itself. The great battles he had against some of the top players ever. I mean, that's my GOAT. That's my guy. That's my favorite basketball player. And like you said, you hit on it too. I was a former AAU star. If I maybe grew another inch or two, who knows? I might be on there talking to you. I might have never met you because it would have been hoops. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, 1,000-point scorer in high school. Who's counting? No biggie.
Yeah, who's counting? Who's counting?
Would have went for 2,000, but I decided to pass the ball to other guys share the rock too. But yeah, so basketball definitely is near and dear to my heart. I've always loved it, and like I said, just been able to play it since I was young. And
multi-sport athletes here. Multi-sport
That's
athletes
right.
here. Shout out to the truth. Like I said, Christian is a big Celtics fan, but probably the biggest advocate for Paul Pierce and his greatness. So moving on. All right. So you grew up in Massachusetts, Hooper growing up, all that good stuff, and then you obviously started playing football. What was the first school to offer you? Like who was showing love at the beginning?
Yeah. First school to offer me, again, Massachusetts. First school to reach out and show me any interest, and this was my freshman year, was Boston College. And being from Massachusetts, being from the Northeast New England, there's not a lot of guys who often get recruited, get a lot of college interest, big schools and things like that. So if BC looked at you, offered you, that was like the biggest accomplishment in the world. Like
Right.
you were like essentially, like you were well respected in the area of Boston College or even like a UConn, those Northeast schools showed you interest, offered you, that was a big deal. Like it was a dream for me, you know what I'm saying, to go to Boston College and everything. I grew up with a lot watching those guys. That was a local college. Big fan of all those guys who I grew up watching play and everything like that. So that was a big deal. So that was the first school to show me interest and the first school to offer me. So.
Yeah. On that note, to move a little forward, is I know that was a big deciding factor in your recruitment because you wanted to be the hometown hero. But what
Right.
made Clemson like? What was it that made you go to Clemson?
Uh, I mean, it was pretty. You mean it was pretty easy. Once I got down to Clemson, it was like, yeah, all right, ain't no need to see anywhere else. Like it was Clemson from the jump. It was head and shoulders above everybody else. Just the old saying, there's something in them hills, man. There really is. Like this
There
Clemson's
is,
just such a
bro.
special place. Like you just come around, just the love I got from all the coaches, just the people, just the things I've seen on my trip. It just checked every boxes and for all the boxes. And for me, my young mind, like I wanted to develop spiritually, academically, socially, athletically, and I felt like Clemson gave me the best opportunity to grow in all four of those areas.
Bro, it's so funny because I'm seeing it more and more that I'm removed. I've only been 3 weeks removed from the program. But bro,
Right.
Coach Sweeney, the Sweeney-isms are embedded in our minds. Because even the fact, so
Yes.
the people don't look, the people don't know.
Don't even.
But the
Oh
four things he
my.
just named on when Coach Sweeney brings the freshman groups in, he says, "Hey,
Yeah.
I want to do 4 things for you. I'm gonna pump up these 4 tires and keep
Yep. Yep.
keep your bus
Heck
rolling, keep
yeah.
your wheels moving, athletically, socially, spiritually,
Spiritual will.
and athletically, all 4. So yeah, I just,
Mm.
bro, it's so crazy because people don't know. But when you hear, I'm like, dang, bro, this man really did have influence on us. So what was it
Right.
about
No,
Coach
that's what's up.
Sweeney, like that got you here? Because obviously, what I'm saying, the head coach is probably one of the biggest things that get people here. What was it about him
Right. Right.
that got you to Clemson?
Just like I would say, just like as big as Coach Winnie was, as much as recognizable as it was, he was definitely one of the more humble coaches I ever met.
Right,
He comes from humble beginnings. He was a walk on. You know, wasn't like a college star or nothing like that. Was an underdog as a coach. You know what I'm saying? Like no one
right,
thought he'd become who he became, and so that resonated with me a lot. Just overall, like he's just, people who know Chris Windy know how special of a person he is. You know what I mean? He has the ability
for
to
sure.
not only motivate you, but he'll equip you with the tools for life, man. So as he used to
Indeed.
say, right?
And
Yeah,
bro, this leads me to my next question. So obviously, bro, you had a really good career, really great player. You played since your freshman year. But one of the biggest things that made you like magnetic to the Clemson family was your personality. Where does that
right.
come from?
Yeah, like you kind of hit on it. I'm fortunate to be the youngest of 8 siblings, and like I feel like that just all started in the house for me. Like I don't know. I feel like I kind of just they say I like to say they said the best for last is my thing. You know what I mean? I
Right.
got the biggest personality. I'm the best looking. I'm the funniest, most athletic, obviously. You know what I'm saying? So I was just blessed to
Yeah.
like kind of at least have all those older people above me and around me to just kind of like develop a little bit and take a little bit from everybody. And like, since I was the youngest, I was always able to be a little goofy, get away with a little bit more, like, oh, he's just a baby, like kind of,
Yeah.
kind of vibe. So that's kind of what it was like. I feel like all that played a key role to my development and just, where my big personality came from and, just being confident. Like we always used to mess around and have like a little camcorder, record each other doing skits. And, but like,
Yeah.
we was just, there was 8, 9, 10 of us in the house. We ain't have much money, a lot to do. So, but we had that camcorder. So we was, hey, what I'm saying, doing dance battles and all types of goofy stuff. Like, it just was a lot of fun in the house always. So I definitely feel like that's where my development started.
For sure, bro. Bro, so speaking of just like the Clemson family, bro, they obviously watch you play. What do you, when you think about like, your Clemson experience, you had a lot of amazing moments, 2-time national champion, along with your boy. You know what I'm saying? Gotta throw that in there. We 2-time natty champs.
Two-time, that's right.
What would you when you recount the memories, bro? How was your Clemson experience?
20 years old. It was not the mountaintop moments. It's the journey.
Go ahead,
You know what I'm
give
saying?
it to.
It's the journey. It's the journey to the top of the mountain. But no, like there's so many things I was definitely grateful for, and had a like you said, I had a pretty storied career at Clemson, and not just that, like I was able to do some great things in the community,
Right.
off the field, just in the classroom, graduating early. A lot of different cool things, and really just the biggest most enjoyable part for me was just it was the relationships, what I'm saying, having my brothers, what I'm saying, having the other three Power Rangers, like those are my best friends, my bros for life,
Right.
what I'm saying, and just those relationships and those connections, you built, what I'm saying, knowing that, okay, anytime anyone's down here in Florida, hey, Christian, what you doing? Hey, come on, little bro, we about to, whoever it is, whoever I built that connection with that Clemson, and it's just a family, and that's really the dopest part. It's just really just the day in and day out interaction with all my teammates, all my brothers, and accomplishing greatness. You know what I'm saying, with a lot of different people from a lot of different walks of life. That was obviously special, and like something I appreciate now more. Kind of looking back on my career and looking back on my time at Clemson, like you don't necessarily think of it as much while you're in it, but when you're away from
Right.
you like that, that was really cool, really special what we were able to do, and the relationship I was able to build, and the people I was able to do it with.
And kind of moving
Yeah.
on, just like where you played for who's now formerly known as the head coach of Oklahoma Sooners, which is crazy. Would you play for one of the greatest? I know, yeah. You played for one of the best.
The GOAT.
Exactly, one of the best defensive coordinators that honestly coach college football. When you think about BV, what do you think about?
No, and I mean, I don't think you're doing much of a service by just saying he's the best D coordinators in college football. He's literally one of the best people. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't do him any justice. It's label him as a coach or what. Like he's literally one of the best people you'll ever meet. One of the hardest workers you'll ever meet, ever get to know. One hell of a man, one hell of a person, family man, all that. Like what you're looking in, like he's to me in a lot of ways, like he's like the epitome of like what people should be or people should try to be. Just very respectful, great values, hardworking. Like I said, great family man. He really just checks all those boxes, and like I'm blessed to have been coached by BV. Me and him still have a great relationship now. That's my guy. Very happy for him at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's got a winner.
No doubt.
And that's something that's crazy too. Like there's winners and there's losers in life, and they really got a winner, and I'm sure he's going to do great things there, and I'm excited for him. I literally was like almost shedding tears, just when I got the news he was going to get a head coaching opportunity at where it all started for him.
But moving forward, bro, just a couple moments that I want to recount for the people, and just let's go down memory lane, bro. At one point in Christian Wilkins' life, you were a substitute teacher.
Oh yeah, that is true.
When we were living together, walk us through the process or the thought process. Like, hey, I'm playing Division I football, and I want to go be a substitute teacher in the local community.
Yeah, no. So, all right. So at the time, right, I was in my senior year, or you know the story. But no, so at the time I was in my senior year. I was in my last year at Clemson. And I already graduated, already had my undergrad, and I was working on my master's, and I had a lot of free time. I came back and with little minimal money, you know what I'm saying? So like,
before NIL.
Right. Before all that. So, I didn't have a lot, but I had a lot of time, and it was in the spring too. So, you have a couple workouts, and this was before spring ball. So I was like, like what can I do around here? And like, part of me just wanted to maximize everything. Coming back my last year, I wanted to maximize my relationships, what I did in the community, maximize my football talent, my academics. So two of my brothers at the time were actually teachers. So I kind of reached out to them like, yo, like, what's the deal? Like, how'd you get involved with it? Boom, boom, boom. They kind of gave me the rundown. So I reached out, like, trying to figure out, how to do it. And long story short, they put 12 in them classrooms, man. I was full on substitute teaching. I had a good fun time with that. That was definitely life-changing experience and a dope experience too. Just
what was your first day like? As like your first day walking into the classroom, because them kids probably had no idea. Walk us through first day substitute teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think my first day was a high school class in like Seneca or something. I went to some high school in Seneca. They weren't expecting me. I was substituting for like some science teacher. Like they were out in the back growing plants or something like that. So I didn't even know what I was going to get into. Mind you, I have a communications degree and I was working on an athletic leadership degree. I don't know nothing about nothing about science and growing plants, but it was cool because I was able to at least learn a little bit, pick up on a couple of things, and like lesson plans and all that. It was crazy to see that side of things, like from a teacher's perspective. You know what I mean? Because I've been a student all my life, so it was crazy to kind of see what all goes into getting prepared for class, lesson plans, following whatever the teachers left, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was the first thing I did, and the students weren't expecting me. Obviously, I walk into the class and they're like, "No way!" Like some of them kind of knew, but a couple of them was like, "Is that ain't no way?" And a lot of them just found out I was a big brother walking into class. But no, it was just definitely like, dang, okay, like and then of course all of them get excited. They all want to ask a million questions, and you got to put on that professional side. And just be like, no, we in class, like, it was that balance, but it was definitely an awesome experience. And like, I was able to do elementary school, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, special ed. It was all just a crazy experience for me, in the sense of like just seeing that other side of it. And then also that was just, it was just cool because, it almost like, it was cool to see like the innocence of kids and like, what I'm saying? It definitely was a humbling experience for sure.
Who, what, how did the Power Rangers come about?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I have been the biggest Power Ranger fan since I was a kid. And no one can tell me to this day that I'm not a Power Ranger. Like, I believe it mentally in my head. Like, I still try to, like, morph and, somehow hope the suit will magically, right? You already know that's my sack celebration to this day. But and like I really, that's what really my like alter ego on game day and everything like that. But that started just with me. Like I said, big Power Ranger fan since I was a kid, and like we were doing well as a defense, well as a D line, and like I was kind of just like, yeah, we needed an identity, and like that would be dope if we called ourselves the Power Rangers. At first, the dudes were all kind of like, yeah. Not really feeling it.
Right.
But then like I kept pushing it. And guys was like, yo, I kind of like rock with that. Like that's kind of, kind of hard. And then the media got a hold of it, took it, ran with it, what I'm saying? And then it all just blew up from there. We're known officially as the Power Rangers, and like I said, that's still my sack celebration to this day. I morph and that's my game day alter ego. And, I just, I take on that identity fully. But, that's just
big shouts out to the guy actually you said back of the screen, Dexter Lawrence, Cleveland Farrell, and Mr. Austin Bryant. And bro, this is how. So you just told that part. I remember the moment I feel like it became a thing was, I don't know if it was it was my first year. Yeah, it was 2016 when y'all dressed up for Halloween.
Halloween, yeah. That's when it really blew up. I went on like morphsuit.com or something and like got me a suit, and then I kind of like showed it, and then everybody else started getting suits, and then like it just became a thing. We was going around on Halloween, going door to door, people's houses. We even went downtown Clemson, fighting crime in the middle of the streets, imaginary crime fighting on Halloween. It was fun. We went to like Coach B's house, Coach Sweeney's house, and we were just having a good time with it. Like I said, media got a hold of that. Pictures were everywhere that week and whatever else. But yeah, that was my sophomore year. Yeah, and definitely just blew up since then.
Right. All right. So before we get to your NFL career, there's one more thing I want to hit. Because bro, it was a kind of big deal. You got an article written about you and stuff like that. It was kind of a big deal around the Clemson community. Is when people found out, and we lived together. So when people found out, I'm gonna give you the nice how frugal you were.
Yeah.
Yikes. Because here's where Christian looked out for me. Great teammate, bro, and all this stuff. So I walked on and I was trying to figure out my housing situation. And so he was like, I got a place to stay. So it kind of turned to be this thing where he let me stay at the crib. And I think I paid, but he looked out. And I had a car, though. So whenever he needed the car, he took the car. And then, but I had a place to stay because I was living on campus in some raggedy dorms. And I was like, bro, I had a
Right.
roommate who literally shared a room with somebody, and dude was sleepwalking. I was like, bro, if I can get up out of here,
Oh boy.
I would do anything. So we lived together. It was not a
It was
year. So
my
yeah,
junior
so
year. It was my
you
junior
might, yeah,
year.
yeah, my
Yeah.
sophomore year. And so,
Mhm.
all right, so back to case in point is where, and obviously you matured now. Things have changed. We're gonna get to that in a second.
Yeah.
All right, so where did the
Not too
frugal
much, but
mentality?
yeah, we'll talk.
Where did the frugal mentality come from? And the fact that the point is like, bro, we're all like broke college kids, but
Yeah.
you were known to take it, you know what I'm saying, to another extent.
No, that's a fact.
And take me through your mind.
I read, like, again, you said it, we was all broke college kids. Shoot, I was a broke kid coming up. I just knew, like, I don't know. I just was always had the mindset like I'm gonna earn it and I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna keep it and ain't nobody touching it. Like it ain't going nowhere. Like, it was like, how much is this? $3? Like, hey, like I was struggling to swipe that card. I started calculating. I'm like, dang, like, can I do? You know what I'm saying? But no, I've always just been extremely frugal. Like I've always just known how to save money. I've always worked hard, so like I do a lot to make money, however that was, and in college that didn't change. Like if I could save 5 cents, it don't matter. Like even to this day, I'm still not too proud to pick up a penny off the floor, save it, find $1 somewhere,
Right.
act like I won the lottery. It's the happiest day of my life. You'll never see anyone happier to find $1 on the floor. But always just been extremely frugal. It kind of worked out well that you wanted to room with me because I know you was frugal too. You in some ways might be worse than me, but that's just it too. Just even like I've always kind of just had that mindset, just because you had to try to navigate through life with less. You know what I mean? So it never really took me much to be happy. Like I've always had enough internal happiness to like not feel like I had to flex or spend money or do a lot of things. Like I've always been a simple man, had very little. So that was just it. So I was super frugal. Always didn't really feel the need to spend money. And still, things changed a little bit, but still not much. I'm still who I am to my core. But yeah, so.
All right, walk us through draft night. You get drafted by the Miami
Yeah.
Dolphins, and you're walking on stage. What were you thinking?
You okay? For the people that know me, you just know, like you said it. Like of course, we didn't expect anything less from Christian. But the story is, so basically, like the night before, I think, of the draft, I got to meet the commissioner and everything, and one of the other guys that was at the draft too, getting drafted that night, he kind of like joked and was like, "Hey, yo, like, be ready, commish. Like, we might have to do it. Like, we might have to do a cool entrance or whatever. Like, when I get drafted, when I go up there, we might have to do something cool." And he was like, maybe we'll chest bump or something, or like I'm paraphrasing, but that's kind of how it went. And I just kind of laughed it off and didn't think nothing of it. Like, and I never wasn't even really thinking about it when I got drafted. But it was just kind of like like I'm excited. This is my day. I worked my whole life for this moment. Like nothing's gonna steal my joy. And I was just like, hey, like I just was excited.
Right.
So many emotions. Like I went from screaming to laughing to crying to like it was just so many emotions going on that day. And when I saw the commissioner, I just lost. I'm like, yo, this is my moment. Like, forget this. I'm going up top. Like, I gave him the signal too. I'm like, yo, we doing it. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't. I guess he didn't know what that meant. Because he kind of caught me on my way down. But it was a dope experience, a dope draft moment. I'll remember it forever. I'm sure he'll remember it forever. The day he almost died. And that was just, like I said, a great draft moment for me. Great experience for me. Great opportunity for me to just have that moment. And it was just fitting. Kind of like you were alluding to earlier.
What was your welcome to the NFL moment?
Oh boy. So I'll give you one for on the field and off the field. So
Right,
definitely off the field, I would say is like in college, all your time was taken up. You're so focused on class and ball. Like that's pretty much like all you have, and like what I'm saying. And you got to balance those things out, and that's all you're kind of focusing on. And like in college, it's essentially like adulthood. Like what I'm saying. Like you're
right.
not fully an adult. You're just kind of living. But I wasn't necessarily like. There's a lot of things off the field that I wasn't prepared for. It just kind of that just comes with being a pro and being in the NFL and you know what I'm saying like off seasons you got a lot more time and things like that. So just navigating those, you know, just and you're just you know essentially like you got to go get it on your own a lot, a lot. You know, you're a pro. You like when you have time off, you're still required to get your work in. No one else is, you know, like
Right.
babysitting you. There's not as much structure and everything too. So, you know, that's kind of just my off the field, like, you know, off the field welcome to the NFL. Just like my eyes being open to like, dang, okay, this is what life is like. Now I got to get adjusted. Now I got to, you know, become more of a pro in that sense. Because I thought I was a pro in college, you know, but everything was there for me. Everything was structured, so it was a little easier in that sense. But then just navigating kind of that away from the field. Um, you know, but then on the field, golly, it was definitely a difference, you know, from pros from college to pros. And you know, everybody they say everybody has that hits the rookie wall, and you don't know when it's coming, but it
Right.
just hits you. And for me, my rookie wall was my rookie wall was the right guard for the Eagles, Brandon Brooks. Oh man, this is I'll never forget it. It was December 1st, um, 2019. I'll never forget this. This man, like, he get like that whole game was my welcome to the NFL moment. He was destroying me. He just got paid earlier that year, so you know, early like a week or two before we played him. So he's a little extra motivated, a little extra
Right.
pumped up. I
Right.
had no answers for this man. Like usually, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, okay, if a guy's stronger than you know, you can beat him with your speed or something. If you ain't, you know, if you're stronger than the, like, you know, use different, like, you know, you usually have answers for a guy. Like, if this ain't working, let me go to this. I brought out everything for this man and no, like, nothing worked. Like, and in the middle of the game, I never contemplated ball so much. I was like, dang, do I really love this? Do I really care?
Right.
Like, you know, it was a tough day. But that was definitely my welcome to the NFL moment. I hit the rookie wall, everything, and the rookie wall, like I said, was with the right guard, Brandon Brooks. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Hey,
tough.
we all get humble sometimes for sure. But you made it,
Yes,
bro. You made
very,
it.
yeah,
And
right,
you made it to some bright moments, bro. Speaking it's like so we're gonna move to this. So at Clemson. So it's not nobody's surprised. I don't even know what your high school stats were offensively.
right.
But at Clemson, you scored 2 touchdowns. And so foreshadowing the moment you scored for the Dolphins now. What is
Yeah.
I know at Clemson, Coach Swinney they used to bring you over there on Thursdays and also do like a little heavy package and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So in the league, did they know that they like Christian could be offensive weapon for us? Like what has been the thought process in talking with your new OC, with your OC and your coaches about like let's get this man the ball? Like because usually to me like
Yeah,
it's pretty
yeah.
rare for a defensive guy to even sniff the offensive side.
No, that's a fact. But first, I think I have to correct you. I think you misspoke. You said two touchdowns in college. Um, I think it was three. Let's just
Oh,
get that out of the way. Let's just be
who's
clear.
counting?
Let's just be clear.
Wait,
Don't
wait.
shortchange
So,
me. But who's
all
counting?
right,
Right.
wait, walk me through 3. Hold on, just so I remember the
Let's backtrack. Let's backtrack. Yeah. So I had the dive into the end zone against South
yeah,
Carolina.
I remember that one.
Uh, South Carolina. I had the one against Florida State. Oh, at
You
Florida
did,
State, and
you did.
then my sophomore year I caught a pass. So yeah, my sophomore year I did catch a pass. So I think that's three, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, you talking about the fake punt?
No, not the
Oh,
fake punt.
you
My
actually caught a
sophomore
pass for
year, I went and goal line, a little dump pass. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, the people, the real
yeah,
Clemson fans,
yeah.
they'll know. They probably
Bet, bet,
know it.
bet.
Uh, but yeah, so kind of like what you're saying. You know, I've just been lucky, I guess. I don't know. Like it's, I mean, I don't mean this in an arrogant way, but like, you know, it's pretty obvious I'm athletic for my size, and you know, I'm a team player too. So whenever you know coaches need, hey, you know, they know who their best athletes are. Hey, you need a little
Right.
spark. You need a little, you know what I'm saying. You need a little spark in the game. You need a little something. You know, the secret weapon, so to speak. Hey, Christian, go and go do your thing. You know what I'm saying? They don't even got to tell me what to do. I just kind of do my thing. I'm gonna get open, throw me the rock. All right. You
Right.
know, that's how it works. But no, like I said, I guess you know, I don't really get, you know, I might drop a little hints here and there, might lobby a few times in the league, you know, if I'm
Right.
getting cool with the OC, you know, make sure I'm opening the door for him around the facility or, you know,
Yeah,
the
just
offensive,
show them.
you know, oh, you know what I'm saying? Maybe bring over a plate of food to them, make sure their snacks are filled up, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some slight lobbying going on, trying to get on the good side. But I'm just happy, always to make a play for my team. And it's fun too. I always have a good time with it. And that's obvious in my celebrations and how I play. I always just like to have a fun time with it. It's cool that I get the opportunity to go on offense and do some fun stuff.
No doubt, bro. All right,
Yeah.
so you scored recently, and the touchdown was amazing. But I think even better
Right.
than a touchdown was a celebration. And once again,
Right.
look. Every time I see him, I'm like this. Like nobody is surprised. But is this
Right.
premeditated? Like nobody's
Not
surprised.
like
But is the touchdown
no,
celebration was it premeditated? He's like, this is what I'm going to. It's my go-to move, or is you just improvising?
no, it's just improvising, like spur of the moment, how I'm feeling. I just go with how, what's going, how I'm feeling. First I jumped up into the crowd. That was always a dream. So I did that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just like, hey, like it's not premeditated. It's more just like, okay, if this happens, then I'm gonna act a fool. And whatever comes with that, comes with that. You know what I'm saying? If it goes viral, it goes viral. If I look like a fool, I look like a fool, but I'm just gonna have joy in the moment. Live in the moment and live it up. So jumping into the crowd, doing the worm, like, that's all fun stuff. How I like to be when I'm playing the game, because it still is a game. I like to have fun with it. And since doing the worm, I've taken on another nickname. People like to call me Big Worm. It is what it is. But yeah, so that's what it is.
One of the coolest things, like seeing like alumni or as just a fan of Clemson, I'm sure people can relate, is seeing you guys like after games, like seeing the Clemson family. Because I think a lot of other schools are close, but what is it like seeing guys you played with at college now in the league? Like, what is that feeling like?
Yeah, no, it's definitely crazy to like, see the whole process, you know what I'm saying? And whether it's guys who I played with, who came after me, who came before me, it's just definitely all part, like, like you kind of hit on it, just, the whole Clemson family aspect. And that's always, there's nothing like after going to war, you know what I'm saying, for 60 minutes, you know what I'm saying, then you get to go dap up your brothers after the game, show them some love, swap a jersey or whatever. That's what it's all about. And I was able to collect a lot of Clemson guys' jerseys this year, and just play a lot of Clemson guys. We got dang near a Clemson guy on every team. So,
Right.
cool. And it's just something that you look forward to at the end of the game, just showing guys love, having that moment, and just checking on the guys. Oh, how's the family? Oh, like, good luck the rest of the way, stay healthy, whatever. Like, it's always a special moment. And, it's humbling when I get around, like, my brother, like those other great D linemen. I got to play Grady finally this year, get a him, and like, or I got to play Sammy Wilkins, get a jersey from him. So like legends at Clemson, guys who I've looked up to, and a big part of the reason why Clemson is Clemson. That's always really cool and really special just to have those moments. Before the game, during the game, after the game. It's always dope to see. And like, it's funny, kind of while you're watching the game, you see one of your guys on the other team that's a Clemson guy do something good. You kind of want to like you don't know.
Yeah, just like.
Like, in the back of your mind, like, oh, okay, good stuff right there, good stuff. But, say you almost got to fight, like, clapping and cheering for him. You got to remember you're competing.
Yeah. No, for sure. All right. Last couple questions. It's been one of my favorite interviews, bro. That's why I always bring on people I actually want to talk to. So it's just like us catching up, whatever. So I want to give people this, because this is one of the things that like made me laugh, because the first time you told me, I thought it was a joke, but then I've seen like your actual dedication to this. What I'm about to say. Tell the people about your relationship with the musical Hamilton.
Oh, right. So I'm starting to think I got kind of like an obsessive personality or something, because between Power Rangers, like all this, stuff, like
right.
Things that I think we just had a breakthrough. You should be my therapist, but like nah. Nah, it's just funny, like, same type of thing. I've always been a big sucker for, like, plays, musicals. Like, in high school, I used to always make sure I went to always the school theater productions or whatever. Like, I don't know what it is. I guess part of me just being animated, I guess, like, just made me interested in plays or whatever the heck. But big time, like, Hamilton was the first play I got to see on Broadway. It's, everybody, like a lot of people consider it one of the best plays ever. It's so well written, so well done, so well executed. You know what I'm saying? Like, who thinks to pair you know, the foundation of, you know, like the founding fathers and like, you know, our forefathers and everything with rap and like making it like,
Right.
well done and so well executed. And, you know, I know every word to every song, all that. Like, you know, I play it and might listen, you know, might listen to it before a game, whatever. Like, you know, it's just a total vibe. You know, I love Hamilton. It's an awesome play, awesome production. And, you know, I got some good publicity through my love.
You did.
Which has been cool. And the coolest thing about it, you know, like, I'm always still so humbled, but like my claim to fame is like when I get to meet, you know, a cast member, or they reach out to me, or they put it on, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that I'm so into. It's cool when, you know, people from other industries or, you know, get to show you love, and, you know what I'm saying, is you get to meet people through, you know, your experience and just being yourself, you know, so that's always pretty cool.
Appreciate you for coming on to the pod, bro. My second guest of 2022. We got a good cast rolling right now. I ain't gonna say it's gonna get better. Hopefully we can just keep it up, you know. But thank you for coming on to the pod, bro. You can sign off, say whatever you want, and whatever. To the Players Club, the podcast by the players for the people.
Nah, for sure. Appreciate you having me. Like I said, it's good to see you, you know, as my little bro doing your thing, and you know what I'm saying, and doing something you're passionate about and that you love. You know, I gotta get on you though, because you told me it was gonna be a half hour.
I know. We're gonna cut it though. We're gonna cut it.
It really is all love though, because I've enjoyed talking to you. Like I said, I'm happy to see you, you know, doing your thing and, you know, all your successes and whatnot. You know, I want to give a shout out to Clemson Nation, Clemson fans, to Dolphins, fins up. You know what I mean? Number 94 on the field, number 1 in your heart. Don't forget it. But yeah, definitely appreciate you. Thanks again for having me.
For sure, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed that. That's definitely one of my favorite interviews. Just because of the chemistry. That's my dude, man. Seriously. And just for the record, like my teammates that are going to watch this, and anybody that knew him in college, like anybody knows him now, because obviously he says he's still true to his core. He has matured and changed. Well, bro, he's one of the like cheapest dudes. I'm like, bro, he used to ride a bicycle, like to class and everything, and like only wore Clemson gear. And now a lot of his nicest fits is because he has a Nike deal. Like, our man, like, look, I ain't hating on it because he's going to be rich for a very long time because he knows how to handle his money. He's not here blowing money. So I do respect it. But it is like one of those things where it's like, bro, you can pay for that. He's like, nah. But seriously, man, that's one of my favorite friends. That's my brother. Like I said, I got kind of alluded to some of our like stories, but he's always looked out for me. One of my favorite teammates ever to play with. And I can't wait to see him continue to do great things for the Dolphins and for this world, because he's a great person. So shout out to Christian Wilkins. Thank you for coming on to the show, bro. I really, really appreciate you. And like I'll allude to next week, he came in clutch for me. And we're going our guest next week. Look, 2022, guys. We're trying to we're taking it here. Just taking it step by step. And so we're trying to keep the momentum going. Trevor on first episode, Christian Wilkins on second episode. Third episode, we got somebody really special. It's going to be awesome, so I can't wait for next week. But, guys, like I always say, thank you guys for tuning in to the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said at the beginning of the show, thank you guys for all the love you've been showing. And we're making history, guys. This is like the inaugural show. This is like the first time we're doing all this stuff. We hit 1,000 subscribers. And thank you guys for the first 1,000 that got on and subscribed to the show. But we're on the way to 2. So need you, your friends, whoever else that you think is watching the show to come be a part of history and get us to 2,000 subscribers. And also follow the Twitter, follow Instagram. We're on TikTok. Hit us on TikTok. But keep showing love, keep liking, subscribing, following, all that good stuff. It means the world to me. Seriously, this was a dream of mine to get a podcast going. And I was scared. I was nervous about putting myself out there. And look, we're 14 episodes in, guys. So, yeah, and just keep telling me who you want, because y'all said y'all wanted Christian. We brought him to you. Y'all said you wanted Trevor. We got him to you. And next week's guest, like I said, it's going to be a treat. So that was episode 14. Thank you guys so much. This has been the Players Club, a podcast by the players for the people. And I'm your host, Darien Rencher, and I'll see you next week. Peace.